Hello and welcome back to Awakening to Your Story TV, the place to learn, get inspired, and be supported on the journey of life. I'm your host, author, emotional heart expert, and heart enthusiast, Alicia Hartzell. I absolutely love today's question. You know how much I love taking inspirational quotes and everyday sayings and making them come to life? Well, today we're going to put some pizzazz and practicality back into a saying. Don't take it personally, right? Today's question goes like this. Dear Alicia, I have had some emotional fatigue and basic stress around my work lately. People really suck sometimes. There are a few issues. I'm overwhelmed, there's a lack of organization, my coworkers who don't care enough to do a good job, and the customers, they have their own set of challenges. Sometimes it just gets so frustrating. I really do love my boss, but even she can drive me insane because she doesn't do anything herself. Everyone always says, don't take it personally. How do I not take it personally when the fatigue and stress are very personal? You're right, it can be really hard not to take things personally, especially when they're affecting you personally, right? Now, not to mention, when someone says don't do something or not to do something, and then they don't make any suggestions otherwise, it can be so hard to follow that saying and suggestion. So let's tweak the saying a little bit so it works in your favor. Don't take it personally, use it personally. There are two things I want you to look at so it'll help you use it personally. The first thing is to stop taking on what isn't yours. Then the second thing is I want you to go a little bit deeper and figure out if there's a limiting belief that maybe needs to be confronted. Anytime you experience a compounding place of pain, disappointment, or a place that's plugged into negativity and fear, you are experiencing what I like to call volume. It's your heart trying to get you to pay attention and work to give you language for the limiting beliefs that are keeping you bound. When you look and work to heal those limiting beliefs, you can return to your essential truth and let go of what isn't serving your higher good or getting you closer to your dreams. This is another reason it's hard not to take it personally, because everything in front of you and is part of your story and is part of your heart's work. And that is so very personal. I want you to put your hand on your heart for a minute and take a deep breath in and out. Do you feel your heart pumping? Your heart has the power, and not just a physical power to keep you alive, but an emotional and metaphysical power too. Your power isn't determined or changed by any external factor at play in your life. The people who suck? No, they don't change it. The boss who drives you crazy? Nope. Those coworkers who can't do their jobs? Clients who are under your skin? They don't change it either. None of these determine the power of your heart, nor does it change that power. Try to stop taking on what isn't yours by instead owning your truth within that chaos. Use it to plug back into your truth and own your power. When I think about people who suck, right? When you think about them, unplug from their suck factor and plug into your truth instead. Maybe your truth is something like, I show up in the best way that I can. And every time I learn better, I do better. When you think about your boss who drives you crazy, what is your truth amongst all that limitation and chaos? Instead of taking on her craziness, own your truth. Maybe that truth is about, how capable you are? And those coworkers, could your truth maybe be about your strength? And those clients who are challenging you at every turn? What about how authentic you are when you show up? You kind of get where I'm going here? You can put a stop to taking on what isn't yours and instead use it as an opportunity to create ownership for your truth. Okay, now for taking it a little deeper, we're going to talk about using people as a mirror for your heart. Now, law of attraction is working on everyone all of the time, right? We talk a lot about this when it applies to those really beautiful, good things that are plugged right into your truth and light. Or we also talk about them when we're trying to manifest something great in our lives. But law of attraction is also working for you with all those limiting beliefs that contradict your essential truth, right? And constrict your capacity of heart. All the limiting beliefs that were handed down to you, that are inevitably adopted by you, they are still sitting there in your emotional heart space, masking your essential truth. So, law of attraction allows people and situations to come into your life so that they can show you the language and illustrate those limiting beliefs. If you use those challenging situations or people as a mirror to those limiting beliefs, then you know exactly where you have to do your personal heart's work. You can't change people or how they act, but you can use them as a mirror to see where you can make more room for your truth. Now, you got to put on your curiosity cap and just start to see where things resonate for you. If you were to look at all of the volume and you pulled out one thing that spoke to you the loudest, what would it be? For this example, let's use a situation with your boss feeling helpless, right? It seems like a good place to start. Try not to run away from those feelings. Don't make it about her and don't suppress it or push it down. Just get curious and notice things about it. What is the language around it? Does it hit you in the gut or maybe in the heart? Or could it even be circling in your mind? Start to think about when you first felt that kind of feeling and start to create language around it. If you can go back to the origin of where you adopted this limiting belief, then you can start to create more healing and forge a concrete path back to your truth. Now, if you need a little bit more help in this area, I totally understand. I have in-depth information about healing origin stories around those limiting beliefs in the Awakening to Your Story Starter Kit, my workshops, and in the masterclass. There are exercises and ways of supporting you as you walk through all of this. But for now, get started here. That way you can start using your information personally instead of taking it personally. Okay, until next time, know that I am holding a space of love for you, where your truth and your personal power, they're undeniable. For more support, information, and inspiration, join me at awakeningtoyourstory.com.